Are you ready to battle? Because it's never going to be easy in this market. But the truth is, you got to put up your fists, know how to fight back, and get after this market. Let's get right to it. Welcome to it. Live trading with Benzinga.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, good morning, everybody out there. Smash the like button. Let's get it started. Let's bring on my man, Ryan Faloona. Of course, we got Zunaid, of course. You guys smash the like. We'll get into some action today. And the first thing I got to ask, of course, who's getting their Vision Pro? Who said, forget my screens on my computer? I want to be trading in the metaverse.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. I don't think I make enough money to be doing that, but that would be cool. I didn't even think about that.
Honestly, that's what I was thinking, Zunaid. I was like, yo, put those goggles on. I've always talked about having 10 screens. Just sit back, relax. Give me a zero gravity chair.
In the words of the immortal Rick James, I wish I had 4 hands so I could give that idea 4 thumbs down.
No, I mean, to tell you the truth, man, this is where the future's going, man. And I think that we all like to think about things like, oh, I wish I had bigger screens, things like that, right? I will say that. I mention this all the time. I have a huge TV outside. And the only thing I do when I go to like BJ's, Costco's, or Sam's is think, man, I want a bigger one. But that's just how the way it is. And I think that we've gotten to the point where we all are trying to get to that next level of computer technology. So do I think that people will buy this? Yeah, I do think in the long run, people are going to buy this, guys. They can't stop. They can't help themselves. That's what I think. And the truth is why they can't help themselves is because there's things like a firm and things like that, right? I mean, what are we going to see from this? The same thing that I think we saw from phones. When phones first came out, financing of phones at that level was a little bit extreme, right? I mean, let's just be honest. When did you guys first get your first iPhone or Samsung? Do you guys
my
remember?
first smartphone was the BlackBerry. I had a line of BlackBerries, including the BlackBerry Storm, the touchscreen one that they brought out after the iPhone. I don't think I started financing the devices until I joined the Galaxy lineup.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say, we actually talked about this in Happy Hour. This is a great segue.
Mm-hmm.
The phone, being able to finance the phone at 0% interest, meaning that what you pay per month is the exact same as what you'd pay outright. You don't get charged a dime in interest. That really changed things. That made $1,000+ phones more palatable for the consumer base. So the thought is correct there, Mitch. Are you able to do that same thing with the $3,500 goggles? I'm not a VR guy. I'm not a VR buff, but from what I understand, these goggles are more expensive than the most expensive goggles on the market to date. So this also kind of leads it to be Apple being a more of a services stock, right? If you've got people that are buying these goggles and paying monthly over several years for them, that's income you're going to get for sure. So I think that would actually be good for the stock. So all goes back to my original thesis on Apple. Own the stock, use Samsung phones.
All right, we can talk a little bit more about this during the show, and we'll kind of get towards that action. I just want to really quickly take a look at what I'll be watching. My top play today is actually going to be looking for a Meta short. Why? Because of all this talk, right? I mean, I know the Quest 3 is going to come out, but the truth is that it's going to seem inferior to the Pro product from Apple, right? And yeah, the price is going to be nowhere near it. But the truth is the technology is way more advanced than I feel like the Quest has to offer. So with that being said, will the Quest be viewed as kind of the inferior product here? So that's the one thing that I will be looking at. We'll see what happens there. I did want to mention I also took a trade yesterday on Moo. You guys see it to 593 now, baby. Let's go. Smash that alert there. You guys want to check out Moo. Of course, you guys can go ahead and do so. But nice move. Now up to 18.73%. Yesterday was able to make a really nice trade there in the SQQQs and had a really nice day. I mean, look at it, guys. A nice little $18 day, almost $19 on Monday. Friday, about 10.55. So what are we doing? We're starting off June really well, up about 5.2% compared to, let's say, May, right? In May, we didn't do, I mean, we did good, but we did 12.86, right? We're almost halfway there already. Let's see what we can keep doing in June. All right, that's going to be it for me. Now kicking it to my man Ryan with his S&P outlook, and then we can keep going into different stocks.
Yeah, I'm actually going to start with the Moomoo account here, just because there's nothing going on. There's been no change made to the Moomoo account. I didn't take any trades yesterday. If we take a look at where I'm sitting here, Mitch is really killing it now. I'm still $66, $65 and change away from the starting balance, but I'm still confident. I still feel pretty good, and I'm loaded up on day trades. So we'll see what we can get done here today. I'm trying to get more back in the feel of things because the day trading that I've done, even in my main account, hasn't been great. I would grade myself probably a C- in terms of my performance this summer. But we'll see if we can turn that around here. So next, let me go ahead and remove this. Next, let's talk about the SPY here. We talked yesterday about that being a potential reversal candle. So far here, it looks like we want to go lower, but that could all change when the market opens. One thing that I'd be looking for here on the SPY, technically speaking, is a break of the bottom of this candle. So we have a low here of 426.37. We're currently at 426.94. I think if we snap the low of that candle, we might get some acceleration. Maybe we even close the gap down to the body of this first green candle. That puts us at about 422. So that's what I would be looking at in terms of the downside targets. In terms of the upside targets, I'd like to see this really kind of take the top off. A lot of question about whether or not this is a new bull market. Is it people? Is it money on the sidelines trying to chase the rally and get exposure to the rally? Is it rotation into maybe another sector out of tech? I don't know what the answer is to that. I would tend to believe that it's rotation before new money, but that might just be because my bias is to the bearish side. So kind of keep that in mind. So we'll see where we go here today. I'm definitely watching the SPY and the VIX. VIX currently at 1475. Low print we had on the VIX was 1442. So we're up off it, but barely. We'll see if the VIX gets any steam here today. As far as the movers tool, let's check out what we've got here. I saw one of you talking about Sens in the chat. This is a stock that I traded a number of years ago. Never really materialized. I believe, bless you.
I muted myself. I'm sorry. That was weird. I guess I did it quick enough.
Blew out every drums that was wearing headphones like myself, but we love you anyway and bless you. Sens, I believe that they did some type of like heart monitor that was in the body. I'd have to look back into it. It's been a little bit here, but technically speaking, if we break the 81-cent high, maybe we get some continued momentum. If we take a look at this chart here, we're really kind of up off the low 60s. So we're up, good 30% here. We're up 1.4% here in the pre-market, but over the past several sessions, we're up about 30% here. So I'd like to see if Sens can get rolling here. Next is going to be Hoth, and we did actually have a catalyst here today. Hoth, this is a day trader stock. We've been talking about this one a number of times. It often appears on the relative volume scanner. Let me go ahead and mark off the new top here at 387. The catalyst. Hoth Therapeutics announces positive preclinical results of HT-ALZ treatment for Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer-like cancer often is going to get a huge move in some of these stocks. That's what we're seeing here today. Really, the question is going to be, does it hold? What kind of areas do we look to trade this? I definitely, given the way the market has behaved recently, I definitely want to wait for a pullback on Hoth. And given what we saw yesterday in Forza, where it leaked, and then bounced hard and gave a trade, we might get the same thing here on Hoth. So pullback to 333 would be ideal. That would sync us with the VWAP and one of the pre-market supports. We'll see if we end up getting that. Next here is going to be BREA. It's carved out a huge range here. We popped as high as 550. Excuse me. Barrow Holdings PLC acquires strategic stake in Manchester United. So it looks like they're taking a stake in Manchester United. Says last week they began acquiring shares through the open market purchases, which now exceed 100,000. Okay, I guess that's a positive here. Traded all the way up to 550, but really is retraced all the way back down to 3. We'd like to make sure that this actually finds some footing and then moves back to the upside before we take any long side trades on it. Next is going to be Forza, and this is going to be a continuation from yesterday. The one thing to note here is the pattern that Forza is making. When it pushes and goes on these runs, it often pulls back, sometimes all the way back or close to all the way back. What this means for you in terms of trading is that if you get gains in this stack, don't be afraid to take it. It's likely going to pull back based on its previous performance. And if you really want to trade it again or have longer exposure for a bigger move, you'll probably be given an opportunity to buy that at a support level as it comes back in. So if we trade this today, I'm going to be looking for quick gains, and I'm also going to have a pretty tight stop. So this probably rules Forza out from being traded in the small account because I just don't have that agility to get in and out of positions like I do in the main account. Forza currently sitting right above its VWAP here, in between the 375 and 320 range. We'll wait for this to pick a direction before we end up trading it today. Next is going to be MREO, and this is Mario Biopharma. This is right by its V.
Oh, wait. Sorry, what stock are you going over?
MREO.
Oh, sorry. Someone in the chat said your screen wasn't moving. I wasn't sure. My bad.
Continue. Oh, is it? Is it not? I mean, we've had that here. I see it on the preview. I see my mouse moving around. Can everyone else see that?
You're good. You're good, I think.
Oh, it was Sal. Okay. Anyway, let me know if you can see my mouse moving, right, Zunaid?
Yeah, I can see MREO. That's why I asked.
Okay, so we're probably in good shape here. MREO does have a catalyst here. News. Needham reiterates its buy and maintains the $5 target. We're down here at $1.20. Remember, these price targets are 12 to 18-month projections, so it doesn't have to do all of that in a day, but it does have that nice underlying catalyst there. Next here is going to be Zura. This one has been a recent runner. This actually popped again. This was as high as $9 or a little bit more here in the pre-market. We're down at 740, so let's see if this can actually get rolling again. If we take a look at the 15-minute chart, you can see exactly what we did. We came right back into this pretty good consolidation area that also served as a top on June 2nd. So you know what we might want to do is we might actually want to mark that level off as well. And then we also want to mark a support level on here. So I'm going to go with this. And then I'm also going to mark the one here from today. So here are our levels for Zura today that we're going to be looking at. THMO, not really.
Yeah, your chart's not moving. So
now it's not moving. Okay, let me go back and share the tab. At least now I know how to fix this. Let me just confirm it real quick and I'll turn it over to you. That was good timing.
Yep.
As I didn't really have much more. So let me see if I can share this tab here. Let's see if this works. Okay. Let's add this to the stream. Do you guys see Unity now?
I see Unity.
And if I click this, do you see THMO?
Yee.
Okay. So looks like we fixed that there. Thanks, Zunaid. I'm going to turn this one over to you.
All right, cool. Appreciate that. Taking a look at the micro crude oil futures here for July. Nice little trend line going on. Yellow line is the VWAP. So that's what is bumping up resistance against. So if you are looking to go short, one, you could have a nice little risk reward if you're looking to go short here and maybe have a stop loss right above these wicks over here. Or you can wait for the trend line to go ahead and break to the downside here. We've seen that happen a few times yesterday where you had a trend line break and it just continued downwards. You can see it twice as I just magically pointed out over there. Let's go ahead and check out the SPY. The level to watch for me to the downside is quite easy here, which would be the 426.50 area right over there. Let's go ahead and set our alerts. 1, 2, done there. And if you're looking for the upside move, 427.50s is where you can possibly get some movement to the upside. As you can see, we had resistance, held on as support, and then now you've got a little bit of resistance, pre-market resistance, and maybe to some upside. So we'll see how that kind of plays out, if you will. Delete that. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and also check out Unity. I know Ryan talked about this one here. You had the news about, I don't know if it's confirmed or not, so my apologies, but working with Apple and whatnot, I didn't get a chance to take a look just yet. But you've got pre-market highs of about 38.51, so that's definitely an area you want to go ahead and keep in mind. I do expect this to kind of make a move, so I am going to go ahead and set an alert right there on Unity. to see if we can get something in our favor. Let's go ahead and talk about Apple. As you know, yesterday when we started the show, we talked about, hey, during or after the event, my eye test tells me that Apple usually fails. And that's exactly what we see in terms of movement. What I also had talked about was Meta fading away. And I was wrong in the sense of I expected it to fail a little bit quicker than it actually did. But nonetheless, though, you still have that 269 area holding on as support right over here. So we'll see if that one goes ahead and cracks or not. On Apple, though, I think if 178 fails, high low, let's just move that right there. If the 178 level goes ahead and breaks, as that was yesterday's support and also the pre-market support that we have today, we can get a chance to play this to the downside. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of other stocks. Nvidia, let me go ahead and change that up here. Yeah, it looks like in Nvidia, you've got this, what is that, 388 level holding on, but you've also got this to the downside. So it's not exactly the cleanest play that we have. So I'm going to leave that one alone. But let's go ahead and check out Boeing, as a 210 level was quite clean for us to go ahead and short yesterday. You can see how many times it bumped heads against it, failed, came right back down. And now it's kind of trying to perk its way back up there. I'm not going to go and really play this because that 210 level has been kind of overworked, but this 207.47 has held on for support about 3 times now. Here's 1, here's 2, and here's 3. So if that goes ahead and cracks, you might get a move to the downside. So that being said, let's go ahead and set that right there. 1, 2, 3. There's the alert. And then we can go ahead and check out D-Dog. Again, back to the $100, right? Look how crisp that was of a rejection to the downside. Then it went up, held, and it gave you at least 50 cents. I did have a chance to play this one yesterday. I was looking for about $1, but I don't think I got there quite yet. So I had to just close out of it because I forgot it was 4 o'clock and the market had closed. So I had to close it in the after hours. But let's keep an eye on D-Dog to see how it kind of reacts around the $100. If it bases above and or below, and we can go ahead and try to take this one one way or another. Take a look at Tesla. What's up, Mitch? Welcome back.
What's up?
Let's see. Do I like anything on Tesla here? Not necessarily anything there. I think we went over a majority of my stocks. Oh, AI. So obviously with the news yesterday, you had a nice little run up there, and it can get over 36. You might get a move above and possibly go ahead and test the 38s and then the 40s itself as well. But for now, I would wait for a 36 break. As you can see, try to get above, couldn't. Resistance second, resistance number third, resistance number third. I don't know if that made sense. But anyway, we're about less than a couple of minutes to the market. Did you have anything you wanted to go over, Mitch?
Yeah, I do have something.
Yeah,
I
Ryan.
do have a
Hello.
special belated birthday to one of our chat members, Becca. So
Ooh.
Happy birthday, Becca. Happy birthday, Becca.
Wow. Look at that. Special treatment. You got the sound effects and everything. Happy belated
Whoa,
birthday, Becca.
Did T-Pain just join the chat?
He sure did. He sure did.
T-Pain Ryan over here.
T-Pain Rhino.
T-Pain.
Happy
Ryan.
birthday, Becca. Thanks for all your continued support of our program here and all of your participation in the chat.
Hope you enjoyed some delicious cake.
All right, let's get ready for the bell, guys. It's 9:29. It's 9:30. Let's see what we can get here. Who's coming after it? Who's going to get it today? Let me know in the chat. Who thinks they got this, baby?
Oh, man. Let's see if there's anything else y'all want to take a look at. We can. At Google, nothing really there that I fancy. It's not a term I usually use, but got a nice little trend line you could possibly break. Let's see if we can.
Okay, chat, I will attempt to do this. I will attempt to spell out the tickers phonetically for you.
All right, already getting a little dip here on Meta. Looking to short Meta today, guys. I'll let you guys know if I do get shorted. Right now, I need a little bit of a pop back towards some kind of resistance area, and then I could get short. Right now, it's going to be a move closer towards like 271, and then let that move kind of get stomped out. We'll see what happens there.
Here's a SPY testing the 426.50 level we identified.
Already coming down. It popped to 2070 50s and then came right back down. So I'm going to be looking to get into this team. I just need to see it come back to the VWAP.
Hoth, the first move here on Hoth, that's Hotel Oscar Tango Hotel, moving through 360, high of 364 here. Hoth looks like it's trying to go. Brea, ticker BREA, that's Bravo Romeo Echo Alpha. This looks like this is just kind of flagging down here around that 3. Wonder if this gets going as we push through 3. Hoth here, first move up towards the highs. First resistance point here, 387.
All right, getting that little spike now in Meta here. Going to start trying to get short. Man, that thing is quick on the rejections from 2050. Literally less than a second, it rejected that 2050 VWAP. God dang, didn't give me a chance, guys. Got to be quicker than that if I want
Mitch,
it.
I'm not sure which screen you have this on, so I'm going to not.
Oh, I got you.
everything up.
I have like 4 different screens going on here, but Meta is what I'm looking at, team. So I'm like that 2070 50 short, but it went up there in less than a second, came right back down. So trying to let it test up here towards 271 and then come right back down towards red. So kind of a green to red trap. That's what I'm looking at. We'll see what happens.
Wisdom, I appreciate all of your support and your kind words, but singing is definitely not going to advance my career. If anything, it would destroy it. So I'm going to avoid that.
The singing trader. There you go. Could be a
What's
could
the
be a nice
SPY
little
doing?
line.
What's the Qs doing? We got them coming down.
Market's down. First move here is down out of the market.
Yeah, we'll see if it wants to come back and retest the 426.50 as it is breaking.
Rejected that 2750 again, man. I've been
Hoth
missing
big
it there.
pull here to the VWAP. Hoth VWAP 343 big pull here. The best part of the summer is having the windows open and hearing all of the sounds from the wild birds outside.
That's awesome.
That is just a totally relaxing thing for the morning. Cannot stress it
man.
enough.
Love it.
VDU for you penny players looks like ticker VEDU. That's Victor Echo Delta Uniform trading up here. 64 looks like 65 is going to be your high. VWAP at 79. So we'll see if this continues here for your penny players.
For Carvana, I've set an alert above 15. 15 is your previous close. If it can get above that, I am interested.
All right, orders out to start trying to get a little bit of meta short. I want to get a starter here. Kind of work the position. There you go. Starters on, and we did get a rip to the upside with that, so I just got to be careful with that. Got an entry there at 270.53. This is for the prop. Now I want to see it reject 271, then come back below the VWAP. That's when I could start adding.
Forza, first move here is down, although it looks like it's finding some support around that 325. That's Forza. That's Foxtrot, Romeo, Zulu, Alpha.
Getting an alert on Roblox up through 40.95 to a value of 40.96. So that one's one that I had on my radar. You talked about this yesterday on Start Swing Trade. It's doing pretty well here out the gates there. So keep your eyes. Roblox, nice little move to 41.
Seeing some coin calls come in here. Coin, there was news this morning about the SEC investigation. Looks like people are buying up coin. Let's see what the chart looks like. Coin, that's Charlie Oscar India November. Looks like a potential bounce back towards VWAP here. This is a big, big range. We were at about $59, currently at 47, but trying to bounce here. We'll see on Coinbase. Careful with this one.
There you go. Nice little pullback here to VWAP. Going to start trying to add into Meta.
Come on back.
Hoth
got
right
Apple
back to
jumped
the
out.
highs, taking some size here at 372. High print I have on Hoth here is going to be 387. That represents your pre-market high.
I'll try some hot real quick here at 367. Stop loss 327. Looking to take gains at approximately 405. Probably a little quicker than that.
Nicely done, Zunaid. You first move right there, right up to that spot. Let's see if you can get it here.
Move my take profits at 397.
Q's moving down, SPY moving down. I'm going to start adding here.
See if the top gets taken off here at 387 on Hoff. I'd close the trade there if you're in it. I have no position. Still, here we go. There it goes. There it goes. 395, 396. What was that profit taking level?
97, 97, and
there it
build.
is.
Let's go.
And there it is. Nice trade, Zunaid, right out of the open. Way to go.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Way to go, Zunaid.
Appreciate you. Now, what's interesting is you've got VWAP on the 5-minute for me at approximately 353s. Oh, there, nope, don't need to wait. No, forget the VWAP. We're going.
They're bringing bids in on Hoff here too. This is a big trade. Definitely should have taken this one. Holy smokes! Definitely
here in Meta.
Definitely close these here.
Meta's just squeezing on me here. It's weird because the market's coming down, but yet Meta does not want to come down here. So definitely getting hit on a stock where the market's coming down, but it's definitely not. To manage it.
Here's Netflix around VWAP, which has found support at this 398.59s. D-Dog, $100 test a couple of times, holding on. Win looking to break that 101.50. Oh, yeah, baby. That's what we want. Don't forget, my small account challenge is in the gutter. And the only thing I have in that, I think I have like $70 left, fellas. I think the only thing I have in there is a win contract for 104 calls expiring this week. So we need to get all the help we can get on this one.
Trying to start slow and then keep building here, but Meta's been hard to deal with right now. I'm just trying to keep managing the position right now. That's why I'm at least happy I came in with 50 shares versus 100 shares each. Can build up to 300 on this position. I only have 100 right now.
There's Win crossing it up as well. Come on. We'll keep an eye on this one for sure. Let's go ahead and see what Hoth is doing. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can buy 200 shares at approximately, and then I'll go ahead and adjust this. I'm going to look to buy 200 shares at approximately 365, which is right near VWAP if we can. Now, the question is going to be, is it going to continue to hold on to 4 and then just continue to 450 and not even give you a chance? Because you've got a couple of different levels. You've got 4, but also you've got this 388 actually, which was a pre-market resistance. And there you go, 20 cents.
Hoff going for the highs again. 430 your high on Hoff. A little bit of size there at 430. See if they can actually take that out.
All right, starting to see the SPY reject going to VWAP. I like that look. I'm thinking that we get a little bit of a leak out today, so I'm trying to play certain plays like that. Of course, you guys choose your own outlook on the market, but right now that's what I'm seeing.
Where is coin? Oops. Kind of want to see if Coinbase will. I'm going to try a short on coin here. Risk about $50. That live maybe about $100. Oh, hell no. Let's take a look around. Apple rejecting VWAP.
Yeah, with Apple lower, the SPY lower, this is where I'm getting a little bit kind of caught here in Meta. Even though there's a lot of stocks down, I'm in the stock that's up, so I got to be careful with that.
Coinbase almost about to stop me out here. I'm going to move this stop just to the 49.05s. There is also, let's go coin.
The coin life. I like MSTR or like the Mara maybe, but that's still going up. Mara's coming down. Hut coming down a little bit. Is Meta testing me right now? I'm going to look to see if it rejects 2150 breakout towards 272. Comes right back down.
I am going to, depending on how this candle closes, I am going to be interested in some $48 puts on coin. Again, just waiting to see how these candles close.
Big support. The Qs are trying to recover right now, 354. I think that's very important to watch for it, at least for today for me. So I'm looking at 353.66. Can it recover 354? If I do see that, I think it could get a little push up. If it rejects this move and comes right back through 353, that's where I think we could go lower. We'll see what happens. Qs pulling back, now back at VWAP. I can show you guys that right now really quickly here. Left chart, you see the Qs. Right chart, you see Meta. So I'm trying to see if that's going to reject there. Trying to see if we get back above the 354 there for the Qs. The battle is on. Let's go, baby.
I'm going to start some small size, a lot of alerts there. I'm going to start some small size, just 50 shares on Coinbase, as it hasn't quite gotten over 15 and held.
I was muted the whole time. QBTS moving towards the highs. Lol, sorry. High here, 197. We'll see if it's got a 2 magnet in it. Forza trying to curl up here as well. All right, folks, I got to jump for a few minutes just to wish a teammate a happy birthday, but I'll be right back.
See ya. Wish him happy birthday on behalf of us as well.
Oh, I'm going to say from the entire live trading crew and audience, happy birthday.
Yep. My man. My man.
You guys don't know, it's Hot Stocks Luke's birthday out there, so give him some love in the chat there. Throw it up, team. Hot Stocks Luke.
On Twitter as well. Here's Carvana. I'm looking to get an additional 50 shares at $14.95, which is near VWAP if I possibly can.
Qs coming down here. I kind of like the outlook for also SQQQ's play. I do have a day trade that I can do in the Moo. I just saw it bounce off of 2190s here. I like that outlook there for the SQQQs, or maybe even success on reversal here. So I'm looking at that. That's probably a little bit more lagged behind. That one's a little bit a harder one. We'll see what happens, but the Qs are rejecting the VWAP there. Just keeping an eye on it. There we go, going a little lower. Can we break 353 on the downside? Maybe should have held my SQQQ. Could have maybe swung it and got a little more, but hey, you know how that goes.
Airbnb to the upside. Nice little break. Coming up against resistance possibly at approximately 118.50s. So keep an eye on that. Here's Netflix at around 400.
See if we're going to get an update or a turn down to the downside. I'm getting Meta to squeeze right now a little bit. That might squeeze me out here. SPY still trying to make the move and just rejecting there. So got to be patient there.
Filled a total of 100 shares. Average price is approximately 14.88. Stop loss is approximately 14.40s.
Just trying to base here. That's the only problem. Definitely in the wrong stock today, team. I'm
Stop
usually
executed.
pretty good.
I am stopped out on Coinbase. But I am definitely going to see if we can get another entry on it if it does want to come back down.
All right, team, getting the squeeze here in Meta, about to get out. I'll let you guys know when I get hit. Just trying to manage it now and get out.
Coinbase weekly calls. Oh, not coin. Sorry. CVNA weekly calls $15. Oops. All right, I'm gonna look to see if we can purchase. It's gonna be a riskier trade. I'm gonna look to purchase 3 Carvana $15 calls with an average price of approximately 84 cents. 84 cents. If we can get that. Nothing there. Hot, not done yet. Well, I sold mine, but all right. So there's a $4 test. You know what? Excuse me, the 388 test that we talked about. I actually don't mind that. If I can get it real quick. We'll just try it with 100 shares this time.
Qs look like they're about to make an up move here, and that could squeeze me out immediately. Yeah, Qs now close to that 354 breakout mode. If the Qs can get to that 354, they could push higher.
$15.20 high day on Carvana. Did not get my fills. Did not get my fills. That's on the option side. Obviously, equity side, you can see in front of your screens. I did.
Yeah, really bad management today of my meta trade team. I'm trying, but not seeing it well today.
You need them Vision Pro goggles, baby.
That's all it is, man.
What's interesting is that product is not available for another 6 months. I don't know, and I could be wrong, but I don't remember Apple talking about a product that was so far out. Usually it's like, hey, buddy, order it tomorrow, but you won't get it till XYZ. But this is quite further out.
Reversal here off 945 off the turn, now coming towards the upside, and so we could get a little bit of a breakout test here. 354 is on the Qs already there, so just going to hold towards. I'm already caught here in Meta, so I'm just holding towards the 273s, and then I'll get out. But just got to battle here, man. This has been grinding higher. The Qs look like they want higher, so that's where it gets a little bit worrisome here that we could just see a push right back up. So you guys are looking for reversals to the upside. Those are probably looking good. We'll see what happens.
You've got what is this? Win popping above the 101.50s. That's a nice little play there. Again, I have the 104 calls expiring this week on Win. It looks like my purchase price is 57 cents, and currently they're going for about 85. So yeah, this could be a 10 bagger. I'll be back to break even. Carvana, we're still looking okay there. Let's see how SPY's popping up. Q's getting up as well. Let's see where coin is. Oh, what a knucklehead. You knew this. Oh, that's on me. That's bad. That's bad. That's on me. That's on me. Come on.
Getting the squeeze on. The Qs are just squeezing me out here, team. Taking a big hit here in Meta.
All right, hang tight with me here. I'm going to go ahead and grab two puts, $49 puts on Coinbase. My fill is 340s. If it goes ahead and breaks 50, I'll go ahead and get out. Setting alerts just so I can be alerted to get out. RCRT.
All right, I've set a stop there. I'm going to stop worrying about that position. It's going to be either a $200 loss or a $400 win. We'll see what happens there. I'll keep battling.
Good morning, Judge. Sorry to interrupt you there. Good morning, Judge.
You're good. You're good. Let's get to the Moo account. Let's see what I can do with that today. Moo. I got 1 day trade right now. I used mine yesterday. I was close to having like 2 or 3, but I mean, it was a really nice trade yesterday, so I can't be mad about that. Now the Q's turning back down here and rejecting kind of the 358.25 level. It did get above there for a slight second, but now coming right back to the VWAP. We'll look to see if it VWAP bounces. And then Meta coming back towards the trend line. Would love to see a big bar to the VWAP or 271. But I really doubt that's going to happen. I'm looking at the SQQQs pulling back here below VWAP and thinking about that because the Qs still don't seem the strongest today, but we'll see what happens. How's AMD doing? That was a nice little jump up there, and I think that definitely helped the up move. Now Nvidia is starting to come back down. That's the interesting one there, rejecting 390s multiple times. That move. We'll see if Nvidia can get above 390s. I think that's kind of like the up move continuation and really close up there. Yeah, that squeeze was pretty tough there. Fighting the naked shorts. The shorts, baby. What's going on out there, guys? Where's the small boys? What are you guys looking at?
I don't appreciate you calling me that.
I mean, yeah, you know what you are.
You've got, okay, let's see if the 5 minutes. Yeah, you've got the 5 minutes.
What you got, Zunaid?
So on the 5 minute, you can see a nice volume increase. You get above the 101.50s on win. We'd like to wait for the 15-minute candle to close up, which is about 750 away. We are still short coin via puts. We purchased these at 340. Looks like they're going for 345 the last trade. Man, these spreads are ugly.
Whoa. Energy bouncing a little bit today. Financial services, basic materials, technology in the green, in the red, healthcare, defensives, and real estate. Also utilities.
Mitch, Tony would like for you to take a look at Snow, please. By the way, PayPal $65 resistance. What you got on Snow?
I actually like Snow. I have to take a recent look at it, but I've been watching this one climb. Of course, ARKK name. You guys know I have ARKK on the swing, so we'll see what happens there.
You got to put your thingy up.
Yeah, I got you. Different one here. There's Snow. Snow looks decent. I mean, it's been jumping. It's right back towards daily resistance. The next level from here, I think it's closer towards that 189. Looks like we're trying that 185 today. We'll see if we can get through that. That we've gotten towards 184.69. So that's the first resistance that it's going to get towards. You can see I turned around right around that 184.69. So maybe 185 in play today. But also remember that this one's already kind of made a move, at least from what I see here. Should you buy it, sell it? I can't tell you, but I can at least tell you that it held kind of a little bit of a throwback look, went all the way to 150, which is probably not what I want to see, but it came really strong right back up. So see if it can take out that Thursday 518 high. And I did get stopped out there in Meta, got hit hard there on Meta today. And man, this was such a nice little daily setup, but just didn't nail it. I'll look to see if I can nail it later on in the day and bounce back, but definitely taking a hit there on the account. And hey, it's how it is sometimes, team. I've been trying to risk a little bit more in these trades. So I just got to understand that, hey, if the risk is going to be there, the reward can be there too. If we fall on the right side, got to keep battling in the process and see what happens.
Where is, we're right above it. Let's go ahead and try that out.
For the Qs to see what happens here at 354, do we reject and come right back below the VWAP?
Let's see what we've got on. I'm going to try to take a crack here at the MCL. So I purchased 2 contracts on the micro crude oils at 71.01 is the exact price. Stop loss is going to be about 50 cents, and we're going to look to take about 50 cents. So let me go ahead and put those prints in. All right, we're good there. There we go.
Looking at Microsoft here, nice little setup here. I'll show you guys. Interesting because they rejected the VWAP already. Could come lower through the 350s. I'm going to look for an attempt to come back towards that 334.22 and then flush down, but it could just let go here. We'll see what happens on Microsoft. All the bigger boys are kind of lower right now. Interesting. I got caught in the one that really hit strong today, which is Meta. But hey, that's how it goes sometimes, teams. But it definitely Nvidia is looking weaker. Microsoft, Apple, Google, AMD was a little bit stronger. That definitely had a nice little push. We're looking at these daily setups that were on the support and 9 EMA line. So you can see AMD really kind of taking a nice little lift and could keep pushing. We'll see what happens there. And Nvidia also support trend line. We talk about these on, of course, our book club, and this recovered it right now around the 390. So you're getting that kind of green, red to green look here on Nvidia. Now, the only question is, can it really push there towards maybe 400 on the upside? That's one thing that to keep in mind. It's like we came right to that kind of compression of the move here. Now let's see where we can go higher or lower than this. Sorry for drawing a fan. That's not what I was looking at. Around 389.28 seems interesting. We'll see what happens. Q's just playing around here and could flush right back down. That's why I'm still kind of focusing on this. That is still strong there. So I'm glad I got out of that. Should have got out with a little bit of a smaller hit and then came back in it. Just got to keep working on this, team. You know, one of the things with the prop account is that I get to sizing that I'm not used to. So I got to get used to that.
Where is coin? Coin trying to brush up and go past 50s.
When does Gensler come on TV today? He's supposed to come.
I think you might be muted. I don't know, your volume did something weird.
You're good. Yeah, I muted myself when I wanted to go look to see when he's coming on. I know he's supposed to come on in a little bit there, I think on CNBC.
Good call on Airbnb resistance. Yeah, did it? Wait, what? We making fun of me? We making fun of me? J2K? Huh? You making fun of me?
All right, so like maybe a move to 50 here and then seeing it get hit. Yeah, I went to 50.23, so coin's on the radar for a short eventually. I just think it needs to get back up a little bit more. One more little push towards maybe 51, 50.84, I see as a resistance. If it can make a move to there, I wouldn't mind it.
Looks like people are saying he was on already.
All right, so that's a good thing though too. So so you got a little bit of a bounce there, and now it could flush down. I see the Qs look like they want to flush. Eventually, I might come back after Meta, but that's just because I guess I'm just the degenerate today. Oh, I did get that attempt pop there in Microsoft. It got rejected pretty quickly there. How's this Microsoft move look? Okay, looks like we're having a little bit of topping around the 335 level.
Stick to, let's see, Apple, AAPL.
Microsoft looks like it wants lower here. I'll see what happens in the Qs if the Qs break down. He's trying to recover here, 354. That's like kind of your upside continuation. Nvidia propping around like 390s. We'll see what happens here. I think this is definitely a mixed bag right now. but I think we're going to about to see what happens if we get reversals. Google's trying to push towards 127. Apple trying to push actually lower.
Let's see, where do we go? Where is... Stopped out on Carvana.
Apple going lower here. Q's starting to crack. Now I got to determine, do I want success? Do I want SQQQ? SQQQ setting up for a nice little move here above the VWAP. That's interesting, but it's not enough for, let's say, the swing on Mumu. Success would be a little bit more of that, but that just seems like it's leaking, and AMD is still strong there. So I don't feel like going after just semiconductors overall.
Let's see. All right, win. Poking above 102s. I will look to purchase. Let's see. About 200 shares. So I've got an order out to purchase 200 shares of Win at approximately 101.53s. Did the car check out for a buy? Yes, I actually did purchase. So on June 1st, I purchased my car, picked it up and everything. And this weekend, I'm going to take it to my mechanic just to kind of have him, make sure everything is nice and dandy. But yeah, no, it's been fun riding around. I've been terrified of driving it because I'm scared to wreck it and things like that, but I've enjoyed it so far. Thank you for asking.
All right, SQQQ's trying to hold on here on 2090s. What will the Qs do? Will they kind of come down? Will they come up? It's just sitting there, and now it's kind of decision-making time.
Mara, is that for sale? Let's see. And we'll go to MVIS here in a moment. I don't have the best outlook on Coinbase. Coinbase or Mara. I know those are the type of questions you asked. It does look like you had $9 that was holding on as support, and now it's cracked, and obviously now it's coming back up. I don't really have a good read on it. I would just be guessing, unfortunately, on this. And fundamentally, I don't know much about it either. Let's see, MVIS, MVIS.
Yeah, I like that mention in the chat about LAZR. I will look to add at $7. I do have this from a swing. I added once. I have 685s and looking great, baby. Up 5% LAZR.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it. And yeah, MVIS, nice pop to 6. If I would probably look to get entry closer to approximately 573, which is near VWAP. Ideally 550, as that you can see was a previous resistance. I'm not sure if there's news on this or not. But on our oil play, we've got a nice little pop. So now I'm going to set my stop losses at break even on this. We were in at 7101. 7101.
Unity still pulling back to that big move yesterday. Q's now pulling back down here. SQQQ is starting to go above that 2190s.
What was I about to do? What was I?
Microsoft looks like it wants to crack. Gonna see what happens here. Man, just went after the wrong big boy today. Apple, Google. I think I would have been able to nail those. Went for Meta. It happens. Now Meta rejecting here. Q's coming back down towards 350, 350.
Here's the trend line on the daily for Hood. Curl brought it up, just bringing it to y'all's attention. I don't know if this is the bottom that he was talking about or intraday, but nonetheless, here's a trend line on it. However, on the other side, you've got that. So fun little situation happening on Hood. Which way is it going to break? This is a daily, by the way. This is Robinhood. ZURA, let's check that out. It's popping back above. Looks like I got filled on... Wait, I had Hoth already? I didn't know I had Hoth. Oh, that's because I just got filled on the buy side. All right, I guess I'm in at Hoth at approximately 385s.
Zora being talked about in the chat. Zora up through that 8. I like that one. Nice little pullback to 7. Then came really strong right back up. Resistance on that one, though, right around the same similar area, 925. Looks like this wants 9. It's a nice little move there.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and sell out of my oil. I had a few contracts. I am out here at 71.48. I am out. Out.
Will the Qs recover here? They're right back to VWAP. Seems like it's a lot of indecision right now in the 10 a.m. time. So I'm just trying to wait to get some more trades in, but just waiting. We need some action here. We need some actions. I'm with you. Intel actually bouncing back pretty well on the day. Maybe should have added on that one below 30s. Was looking for a move maybe closer towards 29.69, and it went right to the key of 29.69. So just missed that opportunity of adding there off the 29.69 or 29.70 level. But it is getting some strong move today. You might see a little reversal back to the upside here. So that's why we also got to just wait, I think. Wait to see what happens here. That's the hard part.
So your stronger names, one of them, Meta, currently trading at about 274.16s. D-Dog as well. Man, that $100 bounce. What a beauty. What a beauty. Nothing there. Coinbase still above VWAP, rejected the 50, but still hanging up above VWAP as well.
Yeah, this is just a battle in the Qs, man. This is why I feel like we're not picking a direction right now.
LAZR, nice little move. What was the other one? HOTH. Yep, that's below VWAP.
The Hother. LAZR. Yeah, that just keeps going. Not a bad swing for me. Just keep riding it. Etsy, says Caleb. Yeah, nice move in Etsy. Nice move. Moving higher. Square propping back up. That looks good for me. PayPal maybe. PayPal right off the VWAP right now. 64.67. Trying to make a move to 65. Looks interesting. Microsoft back above the VWAP. Q's back through the 354. This could give us a little bit of room for some upside move now. If we can hold the 354, stocks that were on the support that looked interesting, kind of like TSM also, right? Now pulling back towards around the 98. Does this make a move to 99 today? Doesn't look too bad there. It's about a 30-cent risk there for a move towards about 70 cents. Interesting. Q's now coming at 354.27. Let's see Nvidia start getting strong. I can see the Q's kind of continuing the push here. Will Nvidia push out of this range back to the upside here through the 390s? Is a good level to look for on Nvidia. Actually don't mind this at all here. Just got to understand the risk. It's about 388.75 for me right now. So I got to risk about what, 75 cents? It's already making a move here. Nvidia, dang, Nvidia moves fast, man. Q's now coming back up and actually starting to push towards the upside. All right, getting a little pullback here in Nvidia. Seeing a lot of stocks above their VWAP now. Just got to determine if this is the one I want to go after. Starting to look a little bit more bullish on the day.
Yeah, let's see if we want Nvidia.
And of course, Nvidia pulling back, giving us a big pullback here. It's tough because the intraday has kind of like a head and shoulders on Nvidia. You can see it there: head, left shoulder, right shoulder.
What is it currently? 390.
What you guys got out there, team? What are you guys looking at?
DKNG. But
I heard a mention of Globe.
DKNG going up against yesterday's high. Looking to break that. Looks like it just did by a few cents.
This is as mixed of a market as I've seen in a long time. I don't know if you feel this, Zunaid, but to see like Apple down, Google up, Microsoft down, Amazon up, Nvidia down, Google up, Meta up, Tesla down. You get what I mean? Like that's a little bit weird, right? Like you get what I mean? Like normally they're all trading very similar to each other. Let's just be honest. There's high correlation between all of them because it's so heavily weighted in the ETFs. But it is interesting to see that.
Good call on the resistance. Who was it? Motoko. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. But yeah, you had support now turning into resistance here. We'll see if it bounces from the previous close or if it wants to go all the way to VWAP. Auth sitting right at our stop loss.
Call me a degenerate, but I can't help myself. I'm going after Meta one more time here to see if I get a reversal. But I can tell you right now, guys, I might be on tilt in this trade right here. So there's not many times that you've even heard me mention that. But I'm going after it. The key is just going to be, what do I risk off of? I'm risking off the 274.80 spot and only 100 shares. So keeping it really tight here. But if it goes through that, I just got to get out. We'll see what happens.
$50 is where Coinbase is at. Let me see if we can. What's the spread on it? It's not too bad. Where is Nvidia? Nvidia below VWAP on the 15 as well.
Q's
When
coming right back down. That looks interesting. Can he crack there? See what happens.
still waiting to get filled on win at 101.53s. Hoth. Yeah, we've been kind of watching Hoth. It's going to stop me out here at 361s.
All right. SQQQ is actually looking pretty decent here above the 2190s. Have to risk off like 2180s or the low of the day 75. So even looking at this for my Mumu account here, and try to see if I can grab this very quickly. Like it close to the 82s, 83s, and then risk off of like 10 cents. That's nothing there.
Stopped out on Hoth at big at 7, aka Big Lots. Yeah, at this point, I'm not seeing much that I personally like. I feel like I'm just hitting buttons for fun at this point.
Yeah, that's where you got to be careful, right? The over trading.
Yeah.
That's where it gets difficult, man. And I feel like that's a lot of what the market just chopping around right now. And like, even like, let's say for the Qs, like I want to go start getting like some SQQQs, but look at the Qs. They could recover here too. So it's kind of like this symmetrical shape that just holds on right now. And there's a battle. Is any team really winning there? Not really, right? Because it's a bearish move, but then you're having like kind of like bullish price action right now. And so that's the harder part right now. We'll see what happens. Are you shorting the SQQQs? No. If I would take it there, I would take long there. And I'm looking at it off of this kind of 82, 83 area. And I'm right now having the order ready to go there in the Mumu account. You guys can see it right there. 83 is set up there. Now it's back to the 87. So I just got to determine, am I going to just step up and take this here? That's where I got to see, is the profit to loss ratio make sense for me? And that's about like, I need to at least make like 50 cents to the upside. So that's a move through 22 and a little bit higher here. And if I read the flag pattern, that's about 35 cents from the breakout. So I think we can get to like 22.20s. It wouldn't be too bad from here, but just got to understand the risk to reward, right? That's what it's all about, especially for the small account challenge. And you guys out there, check out Mumu in the chat. You guys will see in the description, you'll see we have some new kind of promotions for you guys to check out. So if you guys want to go ahead and take a look at that, take a look.
Let's see what we got else.
Procs up 3%, IWM ripping, banks up. Okay, IWM. Yeah, IWM, man. I sold this one. Why did I sell this one, man? Oof. What a catch today, guys. IWM, really nice move there. Good catch there, Christopher. That one's a really good one. That's going to help small caps make moves. All right, guys, just got stopped out there again in meta. So it just seems like it's that choppy type of day, guys. That's probably at least going to go ahead and tell me that, hey, no more on that. It's just not working here. Taking a pretty good hit on the day, down about 318. Can push it to 700, but I'm not going to push it to that amount today. Just trying to battle back in the prop account. But today the market is just really choppy, man. And sometimes I can see it clearly, and it's just chop fest today. Chop fest. So I'm not giving up any more money to the market. I mean, I'll just stick around for the hell of it. But to tell you the truth, it's 10:19, 10:20, and this is a day that I would just call it quits already. Normally, I would have already probably called it quits at 10. You can see the choppy action. Now the Q's trying to recover a little bit. It's just chop.
I wish Ryan was here because you've got the PGA Tour and the LIV Golf and DP World Tour. They have merged to unify the game of golf. So after all that, they go ahead and merge.
What? The other league with this league?
The other league with this league, yes.
Oh man, dude, golf is something else.
Anyway.
All right, we'll see what else is going on there. It's okay, Raz. It's not about being sorry, man. No worries. It's just a part of trading. I take the risk. I take the hits, right? It's just a part of it, guys. Just got to keep battling and just get back into it. I was doing really good on this account until I had that mistake on Friday. So that's how it goes too. You're going to be on streaks, and I'm pushing now instead when I should have pushed when I was doing really well, right? And that's how that goes, and that happens on Friday. I just destroyed myself by making that wrong purchase. And ever since then, I'm not catching it right, at least from the prop account. Now, Mumu still working really great. 2 good trades there. And what's helping there is just being patient. SoFi, nice little move higher there. Yeah, you're getting some growth names and kind of make a little bit of a lift today. Eric KK bouncing back today. Coin back to that area where I wanted to get short. Oh, man. Do I get short this? Right at the resistance? Coin? I want to. I'll tell you that much. All right, where's the next resistance from here? I could see maybe like 51.27s. So it's about what, 40 cents on the risk side.
On Tesla, I would wait to see how this candle closes, and maybe if you wanted to go long, grab it around VWAP or so.
I'd already rejected really fast there. It's already at 50. Need to see it closer towards the 80s or the 70s on coin with a little slack, little struggle there. So you see here, this is kind of like the levels that I'm looking at here for coin. There's a 5-minute resistance that I've been looking for it to come up to, then reject it. The key is always knowing where your out would be above it. And I think that's to the next 5-minute level here, 51.23s. So you can see 23s here. We'll see what happens. I put 25 just around it. There it is. But it is rejecting right above that, close to that level. We'll see if it can come back to it one more time. So an up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3. Let it come. I'm going to let it try. Even if it wicks there at 51, but then comes right back through 80s, I could try the short. We'll see, man. This is definitely not the type of trade that I should be taking on a day like today. But hey, it does look good. It's the choppy chop market, man. I'll tell you that much.
Do you guys know how to find stop order bids on level 2? I don't think so. Like on the level 2, you know what orders are there. I don't think you know which ones are necessarily like a different type, like stop limit order, stop loss, different things like that. So are you talking about specifically that, or just orders in general, Matt, on the level 2? Because yeah, we can tell you how to find the level 2, especially if you tell us your broker. Should be pretty simple.
There's Coinbase for the touch. Will it just continue driving higher here? We'll find out. How the Q's doing there? Still chopping, or did it take an upside break out? There's an upside break. Just holding the VWAP. So I would stick with names that have been strong in the past. Nvidia right back to the 390s. That looks great. Just not the day for me today, guys. There's Coinbase rejection one more time there from the 80s. Now it looks kind of interesting there. The only question is, do I have the balls to go for it here? All right, I went for a little bit, grabbed a little bit of coin there at the, let's see what I got filled at, 56. 100 shares short on Coinbase for the prop. If I play it, I'm going to go small, says Richard. Well, guess what, Richard? I did the same thing. I played it, but played it small there. We'll see what happens. Coin taking a little bit there. We'll see what happens. Right there on that cut down. It went back to the 50.84, rejected it. That move through 51 is the only one that concerns me, though. So you got to be careful with that.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and let me see. Where is it? What's the spread on it? 15 cents. I don't like it that much. All right, fine. We'll try just a small size. 2 contracts on Nvidia, 390 calls. Got filled at about, what is that, 355? Was that 3? Yeah, 350. Excuse me, 655, not 355. That'd be a great front run. And I'm going to look to sell the first one at 695.
The chat talking about KRE up almost like 4%. That's interesting to definitely see. KRE definitely up a significant amount. Big level for that, of course, has been the 42 level and the 43s. Big move there in KRE today. Definitely something to keep watch. 42. I'll show you my outlook here on TC. I think it's very important. I'm looking for a move back above this to hold this line and move back through these highs, and there you get through it. So the highs that you can look for, 42.34, 42.25, in that area I'd want to see pullbacks hold today. You see 40, get through 42, go to 42.70s. I'd look for maybe 42 pullbacks there. We'll see what happens if KRE can pull back, but definitely a strong day for regional banks.
You've got Meta that's definitely popping up. Hello, there's my face. Nope, not me.
Hello. Hello.
You have the 275.65 resistance area here, right? Once, twice, 3, 4. Now popping above. We'll see if it does a little bit of retest or if it just continues going. And who said it was a bull trap? Stock said Nvidia was a bull trap. Well, look, you should have told me that before I got in. Come on.
Right? Come on, man.
I'm just messing around. It very well could be, especially because of how choppy we have been, which is why I only have 2 contracts. But if the SPY wants to break out, if the Qs want to go and break out, especially if the Qs want to go from red to green, we could get a little bit of a move. But I am down about $15 per contract, and I have 2. Nah, you're fine, stock.
All right, guys, I'm stepping up to the plate here. Just added a little bit more on coin, now at 50.46. There you go. Nice little cut to 50. Come on. Now I got to hold it tighter. I got to be careful for a trend line push back to the upside. Show you guys what that looks like right now. So you see here, coin, this is like the trend line. It could recover that trend line, go back up, but I saw it kind of reject there. I said, okay, so I see this support here. If we can really push to 50, go to 49.50, we'll look to kind of start breaking down this chart. Saw a lot of volume come in near that level where I was looking for it to get up to. Now I'm just going to look to see what happens here.
I'm about to stop out of my Nvidia calls, just giving it about another less than a minute.
See if I can bounce back, get some of this back on the day, guys. Even a nice, like, you know, 150 bucks, I'll take it in coin. There's 50 starting to come up here. And if 50s break, I think that's where I can get my move to 40.96. That could be a really nice trade there, almost a $200 trade if I can get it down there. There's 50s. They broke for just a second there. It's about 100 at 50. Trying a little bit more here.
All right, I'm going to sell my Nvidia here at 605. So lost approximately 50 bucks on the contracts at 2. So I lost 100 bucks.
On Nvidia, you said?
Correct.
Okay, just making sure. What did you go on it? You went long or short?
No, I had gone. Where was it? I went long via calls.
Okay.
As it was above VWAP, but the 15-minute went ahead and closed below. I don't like that ugly the ugly candle.
Did we get like some type of turnaround there in the market? Yeah, a little bit of a turn, but I mean, the Qs just recover on every pullback. It's just crazy. I'm looking to see if coin can at least come back to VWAP. If it comes back to VWAP, I make a killer win. So I'm just trying to hold off right now. What I like about it in the prop account is that, like, on a trade like coin's usually a hard borrow right now. I'm pretty sure around, but it just depends on your brokerage, of course. But looking to see if this could come down here, start breaking.
ENBV. I don't see that as a ticker unless I'm spelling it and reading it wrong. IONQ. Definitely a nice little pop.
Can we crack these 50s on coin?
We're trying to knock against 427.62s again for the third time today on the SPY.
Come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you. Zunaid's like, I never even heard that in my life.
Nope, sure haven't.
Come on, man. That Nick at Night life. He's like, dude, I was so Cartoon Network.
Nope, yeah, for sure. Dexter's Laboratory.
Look at the Q's recovering there, man. It just seems like it's that type of day, guys. Tech wants to stay strong right now. So just be careful out there. I'm going to keep watching on the day, but man, every trade I get, it comes down and just comes right back up. I'm just fighting the dragon here, guys. Fighting the dragon. Look at coin. It's already back up. That's just how it is right now, man. The Qs do not want to break whatsoever. Bull market's on. We'll see what happens, but holy crap. This thing does not want to break. Watch, and then eventually we might get a break. That's how the market is, man. It's a tough one right now. I'll say it right now. Wisdom, you know it, man. The American Idol right here.
Where is 1, 2, 3?
The cheers, baby. Three's Company. See, because like the truth is, you got those relationships, right? And I think there's going to be more and more like the three companies, like relationships building further and further, where roommates live together. Zunaid, you gonna live with roommates, man? You gonna get a house with roommates? What are you thinking?
No.
Why not?
No. Unless that roommate's like a partner, in that case, sure. But,
yeah, you know what I mean? Who knows?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you mean that, yeah, of course, sure. I've had one in the past.
Who knows? I think more and more we'll see in the future that we're gonna have people that like have a tendency of just kind of sticking together, creating little teams. Why not, right? Build together, man.
No.
The hard part is trusting people nowadays, right? But I mean, I think teams build strong, man. Teams are what you should be looking at, right? So coin is just coming right back here towards the resistance and then rejecting it. We'll see what happens. It's all about the Qs, I feel like here. Do the Qs actually break down, or do they just keep like just tweaking down? There's a little bit of a cut. Can I get a hard candle on the Qs? Will it break there? You see the Qs here? Just seems like every time we come back, it just bounces. Bounces off this trend line. Bounces off the trend line. Like, bounce off the trend line. It's crazy, man.
Together better, more poly relationships these days. Yeah, I mean, look, if you're building a business, yeah, sure, I think you can live together, especially if you're in your 20s or whatever the case may be, like you're staying up all night because you're passionate about the business, this, that, the other. Cool, I think that's fine. Or if you're in your 30s, 40s, and 50s doing that, I don't think age is a factor there. But besides that, I'm not quite sure. Oh, hello, you've got yourself a hat there. What's going on?
Hello.
So some breaking news. First of all, I wished Luke a happy birthday from everyone here.
Thank you.
All the birthday wishes. We have some breaking news. Luke has been promoted to the president of Benzinga. So I would like each and every one of you that has the ability to do that, please reach out and congratulate Luke. Wish him a happy birthday for all of the hard work that he does here. I was going to show up in this fresh hat, so I tried to.
I think what you also got to stay there is for a lot of people that don't understand what that means, right? So kind of explain what that means, right? Of him, is it a step up? Like, where is it going? Of course, it sounds like a step up, but kind of explain so that they understand how our system works right now.
The easiest way I can explain it is that Luke drives everything forward here. It doesn't matter from content to development to customer success to onboarding to everything else. Luke drives it all forward. So he's finally getting the recognition that he absolutely deserves. He's given his life to this company. His vision is the reason that we're all here. It's the reason we're all doing the show. It's the reason we're all interacting with each and every one of you every day. So really, really crazy day. Really, really exciting. And I could not be happier and more proud to be a part of the team that I'm a proud part of.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. And definitely, I thought that was needed there because a lot of people don't understand sometimes of how we work, right? The truth is that I would say Luke is behind almost everything we do, right? And so definitely take a look at understanding him. Also, reach out to him if you guys got great ideas for Benzinga. There's one person I'll tell you right now that might listen, and that's Luke. So definitely, if you guys don't have him on Twitter or don't have his email, you guys can always reach out to him, especially if you have a great idea on how to continue growing forward here at Benzinga.
Yeah, that man works relentlessly and also finds a way to stay empathetic to the team that he works with. So shout out to Luke, man. Well deserved, my friend. Happy for you.
Definitely. Hope that came with a nice little Tesla.
I think he might have a helicopter he can use now.
Yep. He gets to use the company helicopter whenever he wants now.
There you go.
So what did I miss?
Nothing.
We getting crushed by Meta
Nothing.
twice. So I got crushed by Meta twice, Ryan, today. It's how it goes. Market being choppy. Wouldn't you know it? Seems like it's chopping to the upside today. But definitely a little choppy. And it just seems like tech can't be broken right now. At least that's what I'm seeing in the markets. We'll see if it eventually breaks. But I mean,
I see we set a new low on the VIX here at 1432.
This is exactly what I talk about. The Qs just come back down. They go to they go to this trend line. And what do? Big candle right back up. They say, you. It just seems like that's not going away today, team. The Qs don't want to be stopped. They won't stop, can't stop. We'll see if it eventually breaks this line, but man, it is intense off of that line right now. The algos are just taking it.
Looks
coin.
Looks like Zura moved off that 718 support here. Got a trade. Looks like the chat is talking about Mevis. That's, of course, MVIS. Let's take a look at Mevis here. Oh, man, up 30%. Wow, what a move in Mevis. Hopefully you guys all hit that.
Hopefully. All right.
Forza's popping off support here. Boy, the market really was just waiting for me to come back. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's all it was, dude. Why'd you leave us, bro? Yeah, Forza with a nice little 340 move there. You guys can see it right here on the top. I'm going to lock my screen because I've been doing trading like crap today. So I just got to balance it, right? Like always, we're not going to trade perfectly. And that's always one thing to keep in mind, risk preservation, right? We'll see what happens today. Are we finally seeing the Qs let go? No, we don't. Oh my God. Guys, if you guys hear me say that the Qs are letting go again, just please slap me through the screen.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go get ready for my interview now that Ryan's back. Wisdom saying, doing a startup business, New Jack City style. That would be great for using butter chicken recipe. I'm not sure what that means, but I do know what butter chicken recipe means. And I'm probably going to have some after my meetings this afternoon. But Ryan, what is, by the way, Ryan, I talked about this while you were gone, wishing you were here. The PGA and the LIV and some other league has merged. You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I'll give you my thoughts on that. PGA and Live Tour, we got confirmation this morning that they are merging to create a larger golf enterprise. So what does this mean? Well, first of all, from what I understand, the players didn't necessarily know about this. So this is a rather huge day. Details are still sparse, so how this is going to work hasn't yet come out. I would imagine anyone that went to Live is now going to get their PGA Tour card back, which is really, really exciting. The one thing that I think we can determine right away is that the golfers that opted not to go to Live, they got to be pretty pissed because they passed up a pretty humongous payday. I think that in the long run, this is actually going to be good for golf. And the one lesson here that everyone should take away, whether you care about golf or not, follow the money. Money talks. That's exactly what happened here. That's what we're seeing.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because you had the it's owned by the Saudis, right? They're a partner.
Yeah, it's a Saudi-backed league, Live Golf.
And so it's interesting because it's like they just swallowed them up. And I mean, have we seen how much? By the way, Mitch, if you have a trade, feel free. Looks like
no. I think this is the worst thing for the PGA they could have done. But I think at the end of the day, this ruins their credibility. But hey.
Yeah, I could totally disagree with that. Could not be more on the other side than that. Got to have the best golfers in the world in the most premier league in the team or in the world.
The second
they
that
talk
we
so
have,
bad about it, then going back against it. But
follow the money, Mitch.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's a business, right? We do what you got to do. Especially you don't want to compete with them. So if you can't beat them, join them.
Maybe that's how you do it.
Ryan,
Carvana,
real quick, Ryan, I was waiting for you to come back, but to everyone here, I'm going to be offline for a few days having pretty big surgery. Happy trading to all. See you on Friday. Ryan, good luck to you and your family for your surgery. I think that there's probably no one better because you're probably one of the toughest people in here and you should have no trouble handling that surgery. You and your family will be in our thoughts and prayers without a doubt, and we will keep the seat warm for you for when you return. So rest up, big dude. Baby. We will be here when you're back. We'll see you, man. Much love.
Yeah. Hey, best of luck, Ryan.
Take care, my friend. We'll definitely see you when you get back. And like always, take care of yourself first. And that's number one.
Carvana, by the way, popping up here.
Oh, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm just asking for it today.
That's one way to put it. All right. I might go ahead and get ready for the interview. I'll be back in a bit.
Oh, man. Look at the cues, what they're doing to me. They're just tearing me apart today. I'm still short coin, and I'm going after it, team. But damn. If the cues would just break down, like this would be a really nice trade. But it just doesn't want to do it. So I seem like I'm just fighting myself here. It's one of those days, team. Just not feeling it. Holy crap. We'll see what happens.
Forza trying to break above its VWAP here. We'll see if it has the strength to do that. Ticker FRZA.
Just trying to stay with this Coinbase trade. It ain't easy. There's now a little break into the 49.90s. Can this really just break down here? If we could get towards like 46, 40, 49.50s, we could take majority of it off, but it recovers every time it comes here too. There's a buyer, sneaky buyer there in the 50s. Yeah. Look right here, team. This is what it's all about, team. Learning, right? Well, look here. 89,000 at 49.90s. 88,000 just sitting there. And that's not letting it come through and crush that. He needs to get hit first. And so I need to see if it can go through that 490 wall. If not, you get moves like this. Big jump up right off the bid there. And where did it go to? 49.90. I'm fighting someone bigger here in coin. I might get crushed because of it. And that's where it gets very difficult because the truth is the pattern's showing that, but that guy's too big. He ain't gonna let it come back down there. So you gotta go ahead and probably just peace out and just take it. There it is. There's a little squeeze there in coin. And there you guys see it. It's already kind of jumping up here really quickly. We give it a chance for the 84s. If not, just get out and call it a day for sure. Not a good day by me at all. And a lot of this is what? I'm fighting the market, fighting the Qs here. Qs coming right back up. Goes to the trend line, hits it, bounce right back off of it. This is not what to do today by Money Mitch.
Sometimes that's what happens, Mitch. That's what you were telling me too. It's just, this is how some of the days go.
Look at that, guys. Look at the Qs. Just look at that. That's what I'm fighting. And that's what I'm getting crushed because tech's going up and just driving this right back up. It's tough, man. It's tough dealing with that. It's not the day for me, guys. I'll tell you the truth. It'd be one of those days where I would just call it a quit. I'm just staying here for the team. Definitely not taking a trade in the Moo account today. I don't want to ruin that one. It is not one of those days for me. Meta looks like it wants to keep going too. Holy shit on Meta today. Microsoft is actually below the VWAP. Apple made it back right to 179. Google.
Regional banks strong today.
Yeah, man. KRE. I talked about
EPST.
how now you can maybe look at those types of regional banks to go after it, right? And I think that you can now start looking at these and then looking to see which ones are making like big moves. BKU, PACW, looks good there. QB, Lob, BOH. There's so many here that are making good moves. HBNC. A lot of these are smaller names too. Wall, WAL, up a significant amount there. So definitely seeing a nice little lift there in financial services. Also energy getting a little bit of a bounce back today. All right. And still in the battle there on Coinbase. I've been 1 penny away from getting out.
XNet might be breaking through a top here.
XNet.
It's
you want
got
to share
some
your
strength,
chart
188
so we can see
to high.
that.
Oh yeah. So I'm having trouble actually with
No
one of
worries.
these.
It's all good. I can show it on mine if anything.
No. I can do it. It's just one of the things. My signals tool is not loading. I'm actually currently working on trying to get these resolved. So I'm working behind the scenes, which is why you see me typing away here. But here's the XNet chart. Let's see if we can actually break the top off here. One of the other things here is, like I was mentioning, the regional banks are just relentless today. I don't see it in here anymore, but I was just looking at DPST. This is going to be, of course, your levered ETF for those regional banks. Just a massive move here on DPST. KRE would be the unlevered regional banking product that has the exact same chart. Just huge move here. XNet going for that 188 high on XNet. See if it takes the top off here. Volume looks good.
XNet.
There it goes through 188, 189 new high. Let's see if we can break above here and put the 2 magnet engaged. Up there we go, 190 prints. So XNet looks like this is going to try to go higher too. Forza also moving. Wiz, I see you. Let's go ahead and bring Forza back up. Crow, looks like you're on this as well. Let's go, group. There goes XNet 191. That's through. Forza looking like this needs to take 340 here to really get going. See if we can get it. Level 2 looks good here on Forza. We're right up to that 340. Let's see if we pop and break above here, folks. VWAP at 339. Forza running into a little resistance here. Remember, this is what we saw a little bit later in the day yesterday. When Forza ended up breaking, it went big. So let's see if we end up getting that again here. Looks like this is the main watch here for Crow on Forza. 193 prints over on XNet. Forza's trying. Tickers. Okay, Forza. That's Frank Romeo Zulu Alpha. That would be the one ticker that we're looking at. And then XNet, X-Ray, November, Echo Tango. So those are going to be the two stocks we're looking at, XNet and Forza. Let me know if you need those tickers read out again. And SPY continuing to move here. Market definitely trying to bounce today. You guys are taking a look at AI as well. See how AI is doing here. That's Alpha India, AI pounding the highs. We take a look at the daily chart here. Look at this daily chart. What a bounce. Big push up to near 45, pull back to the 30 level. Now we're 8 points above that in 2 days. Just a massive, massive move here on AI. This should be a target almost every day.
All right, guys. Still in the battle there. Should probably just call it quits on coin. But since I'm in the trade, one thing I try to do also is just stick to the risk to reward and see what happens there. But definitely that buyer and that bidder is just not letting this Coinbase drop. Now it looks like it wants to push through. So we'll see what happens there. I did want to mention, of course, on Moomoo, you guys can check out their new promotions to get up to 16 free stocks from June to June 30th. 1 free share of Tesla and Google if you deposit up to 5,000 on Moomoo. So check it out, team. I'm also going to throw up the link in the chat here. So here you guys have it. There's the link. We'll see what happens in the market today. But definitely the battle's on there, and hasn't been the best day for me today. But like always, it's not always going to be about having the best day. It's about also one thing that we talk about always, which is what? Risk preservation.
Protect your capital at all costs so you can trade with us again tomorrow, Mitch.
Definitely. And hit the QR code if you just want to do that and not hit the link. There you guys have it. Let's keep going, team. We'll see what else is going on. Zunaid will be back with us. Join in just a few. We'll be getting into a nice little interview for you guys. Stick around, team. A lot more going on.
MVIS, that's MVIS. Looks like the Becca special, big pullback, but this might not be done. The one thing to keep in mind here on MVIS is if we can hold this level and we can get a curl back up to the top, maybe we can pop the top off again. Here is your MVIS chart. Becca, amazing spot here today. Great job on this one. You've actually been on this for a few days. So really want to hold this level here. 667 up and just broke it a little bit. Let's see if we can actually hold this here. Forza, FRZA, still trying to break through that 340 level. Yeah, Bayard telling us here that the AI borrows are extremely expensive. That does not surprise me. Rich, take care of yourself. We passed on your happy birthday wishes to Luke. Much appreciated, brother.
Yeah, that's how it is sometimes with these shorts, right? Is that they do get very low liquidity. And that could also drive AI higher, right? That actually gives it a little bit of an ability to kind of drive higher if it's such an expensive short.
MVIS pulling back towards the VWAP here. A pullback towards the VWAP and a firm up there that would probably give us another opportunity to trade this a little bit later today. GTLB, this is an earnings winner. This is GitLab. We use that here at Benzinga, by the way. This earnings winner here really traded higher, a little dip back to the VWAP. Looks like this is actually trying to go higher here on GitLab. That's ticker GTLB, Golf Tango Lima Bravo.
All right, guys, in just a few minutes, we'll get joined by Zunaid. Smash the like out there, guys. It's been that type of day, but of course, we're going to keep battling. And I'll see if I can get into anything with Moomoo a little later in the day. But for right now, just going to keep watching the market overall. Let's take a look here underneath the hood, see what type of themes are showing up today You guys can see LiDAR concept doing well today. I have one of those plays. I have LAZR, but you see Microvision having a little bit better of a day. LAZR pulling back to the VWAP now. We'll just get the lift back towards the 750s, one that I'm keeping an eye out for. Recreational vehicles, of course, you guys have talked about some of those with the Forza one, but there's some other ones moving today, Winnebago, Malibu Boats. So those definitely getting a little bit of a lift. We got apparel manufacturing getting a little push. EV chargers getting a little bit of a push. Wallbox, probably the best one there. Department stores catching a little bit of a bounce after recently coming down. Kohl's up about 5.6%. Nordstrom up. There's about 5 up, only 1 in the red right now. Even Dillard's in the green. We'll see what happens with that. And I always try to catch these because I think it's very important to try to find some themes that are really kind of pushing. Like there's 17 stocks here in apparel moving up and only about 2 moving down. So that shows me apparel getting a little bit of a bounce today. Keep an eye on it.
Forza, we talked about this. This is ticker FRZA, breaking out of that consolidation pattern and going higher here. Grats to anyone on Forza. Be sure to trim and trail on this one. Book those gains. Don't let this go red on you. Got that nice pop above VWAP. Big knife. Is I was just literally, as I was telling you to take gains, we knife. Now we're going red. Big, nasty pullback here. This actually could induce a halt if this keeps going here. Folks, when you get your gains, don't be afraid to take them, especially if you have short-term time horizons on them.
Yeah, big pull, big push, and then pull right back.
Yep. And that's the action we've been seeing. That makes trading harder, right? You got to be nimble. Got to be on top of it. Absolutely, Mitch.
And that's very difficult because the truth is the pattern shows the upside action and then you just get washed, right? And that's just very difficult. That's dealing with algorithmic volume. I think that's mainly what you deal with there, is that the algos are very quick to sell versus us that usually take a second and freeze up.
Crow saying here, today was one of those days, Ryan, when I get 5 to 10%, I'm out. This is smart. Know the market that you're in. Know what the stocks are doing. You see big pullbacks like this and some of the other names that you're not trading. When you get the gains, when your trade setup works, do not be afraid to take it. I know we all want to maximize our gains, get as much money as possible. I totally get that. Just make sure those gains don't go red on you.
Agreed. We'll see what happens on the day.
You didn't miss anything, Becca. I stepped away to celebrate Luke's birthday. One of my other coworkers here, his buddy owns a business called Paradise Playground, has this pretty sweet trucker looking hat. So I decided I'd put that on there to kind of surprise everybody and then wore it back to the show here today. So nothing big that you missed, just trying to have a little fun here for Luke's birthday. What do you think of it, by the way? Yay or nay on the hat?
I like it. It's someone taking a swing on the clouds, it seems. I assume
that's exactly what it is. Cloud 9, baby. Let's go.
I like that. That's creative. By the way, before we get going with our lovely interview here in about a minute, I did want to go over Win, which we've been talking about for so long. You had the resistance there at 101.50s, resistance. Finally, we got a pop, and that resistance then turned into support, and we got to move. The contracts that we purchased for 57 cents are now currently trading for approximately $1.10. So that's a 93% gain. Feel free to trim, do as you please, follow your own game plan, but I did want to go and bring attention to that as we saw a nice move there on ticker WYNN. Any final thoughts here, Mitch or Ryan?
I'm just going to be watching the overall market. Do we hold green? Do we go back red? Final thoughts are we'll address the day tomorrow after we see how we close here today.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll try to bounce back like always tomorrow, but like always, it's not just about one day and one. Let's not let one trade make us and not let one trade break us. Like always, we'll see you guys next week. Next week tomorrow, of course, and definitely smash the like before you get on out of here. You guys can definitely check out Moomoo if you guys are looking for an opportunity to get. Of course, you guys seen it even yesterday in all the data issues. Moomoo coming through while a lot of brokerages were all frozen out. That's going to do it for me. I'm going to go ahead and kick it to the background. I'll kick Ryan to the background too. We'll see you guys like always tomorrow, and we'll leave you with Zunaid, of course, here as he goes ahead and leads a great interview for you guys coming up.
All right. Appreciate that so much, Mr. Liron. If you could just give me a thumbs up whenever you're ready, we can go ahead and get things going. As you guys know in the chat, we always love to go ahead and get y'all, your questions answered from executives themselves. And that's exactly what we're going to do here today. AI, VR, everything's kind of been in the news, especially with Apple's events yesterday as well. So it's a pleasure of mine to talk to Liron, who is the president and CEO of Glimpse Group, ticker VRAR. How's it going, sir?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. I YouTubed it like 3 times and I tried to nail it, I promise.
Spot on, man.
Hey, appreciate that. Look, we've got a lot of things to talk about. It's an exciting industry that you're in. But before we dive into the nitty gritty, could you please explain it to me like I'm 5? What is it that your company does?
So we are basically an enterprise-focused immersive technologies software and services company. So we kind of enable kind of leading organizations from the US military all the way to leading hospitals, universities, corporations to kind of step into this immersive tech cycle that has begun 6-7 years ago and is going to go on forever and become kind of how we consume content.
Yeah, it's crazy how the world of AI and VR is kind of going, right? The direction that we're going in. And I think yesterday's event from Apple, I have my thoughts on it, but I'd love to kind of see what you think about that.
No, so as you look at kind of what Apple did, is they took the medium of which we consume immersive technologies probably 2 steps forward,
Yeah.
and kind of in a classic Apple way. And this is just the beginning of their kind of getting into this space. But when you look at the user experience within the headset, they just blew it out of the park. And this is just an initial element. Now, how it's going to be used is a question that everybody's asking, and the price point and all the things. But when you look at what they've built in terms of what they've shown the headsets can do and will do, is a key element.
Yeah, no question about that. Especially, I mean, when I saw the price point first, I was like, hang on a second, there's no way. But then I kind of saw the images and the video, look back at it. Kind of reminded me of back in the day, I used to watch the movie Spy Kids, and they would have like their little visions of things. And I was like, oh, this is turning into a reality. And, it was interesting because the moment that I had was like, hey, when I'm like 80 years old, my grandkids will be like, oh, how'd you guys live without XYZ? And I'm like, I am in that present moment. So it was a cool technology advancement. Something that was interesting while I was doing research for this is you had a comment in your earlier interviews about how y'all have integrated ChatGPT into virtual reality scenarios. What does that mean?
So if you look at the world before kind of ChatGPT really took off, your only way of doing simulation was to have another person play the other side. So role play. So let's say I want to train a teller how to work in a bank. Someone has to play the customer.
Right.
Kind of, we tried to integrate AI as it was kind of basically kind of a year ago, and it wasn't good enough. You can do very scripted. So if I tell AI kind of to respond to this question in this way, it would work. Now with ChatGPT, you can have AI that kind of, you give them information, you give them what they need to do, and you can actually have an interaction with them. So now in our virtual reality scenarios, you can have AI kind of that you can role play with. So the AI could be the customer, and they would come in, you tell them kind of ahead of time when you set up the AI what they need to know. You need to come in and deposit, but this is your challenge. Your check was signed by your husband. Then you come in and now you try and do something, and the teller will interact with you, and you will try and do it, and it actually works.
Speaking of role plays, there's a GTA like role play servers that so many people use and interact with. And I never understood it, but man, so many of my friends kind of participate in that and kind of like the role play scenario that you said, and they enjoyed that. So like taking AI and taking VR, it could be incredible what we can do here. Now let's talk about your company specifically. Do you see any, like what opportunities, I guess is a better question, that you see in the short term, right? I'm talking like 6 months to a year short term. And then in the long term as well, I'm thinking 3 to 5 plus.
So let's kind of put those first of all in buckets, and then we can go deeper into what you do in those buckets. So the way I look at what you can do with immersive technologies can fall into 4 distinct buckets, and each one of them has kind of their short term and long term. So the first one is marketing and branding. That's probably the most established one right now, where leading companies are constantly looking at how to connect with like the kind of Generation Z and kind of younger people, and immersive technologies is definitely the way to connect with them. And not only that, when you're dealing with organizations, you go into you're going to a show, kind of you can actually show your product and your brand in a different way. The second one, which is probably where there's a lot of opportunities in the midterm, is what I call training and learning. And this is about training employees both in hard skills and soft skills, kind of training the military in a variety of different scenarios, training medical professionals, and kind of then you look at learning on schools, both K-12 as well as kind of universities. So here is where kind of you can use VR and AR to simulate a variety of scenarios, put the learners in them, and they get a lot more. The ROI is very strong, and they get a lot of value out of these elements. The third one is visualization, which is not only seeing products that you don't have in front of you, or kind of seeing real estate buildings that have not been built or you're not in, but kind of the whole concept of digital twin has evolved significantly, and the ability to create kind of basically kind of the truth, kind of a place that exists, and then you can run a lot of different elements in there, is a real big opportunity that I see in the kind of definitely in that midterm that you were talking about. And the last one is basically social VR. So right now you can do multi-person therapy sessions, you can have meetings, you can have kind of discussions. Where this is evolving to is what people are kind of calling the metaverse. Metaverse obviously does not exist. It hasn't been born and definitely hasn't died. It will exist, and AI will play a real role, but this will be a social place where you can do things together with people regardless of where you physically are. And kind of that's the full gamut of all the things we do, both digitally today in 2D as well as in the real life.
No, what's interesting is, I'm a visual learner. So you're talking about visuals, and that's obviously what so much of VR is. I recently just bought a car. I bought it from CarMax. You know how back in the day you would just look at the pictures.
Yep.
Then they have this thing where it's like a 360 view where I can go ahead and spin the camera around, if you will, and I can see it. Now I'm just imagining in maybe 10 years, maybe less, where I can put my goggles on and I can kind of feel, if you will, the being in the car, right? Because in sales, so many times like, hey, feel the presence, have them feel like the emotions and things like that. I can only imagine where this technology goes in the retail space of something like that. And kind of like you mentioned in the education space, where it's like, hey, kids want to learn about biology and different things like that. So many different use cases, as you mentioned as well. There is a question in the chat. And again, I understand that, you may not be able to answer it, whatever the question is, but it is coming from the chat. Did want to give you a chance if you wanted to. Do you have any partnerships in the pipeline that you're working with? And since we're talking about Apple, would Apple be one of them, or what are your thoughts there?
So kind of, obviously I can't talk about things we haven't publicly announced, but as a whole, we have significant partnership with most of the major players in the space. And the way we look at the world, it's basically split into two elements. One is kind of basically kind of how you consume the information. And those are places like kind of where kind of Meta is and Apple is and Pico is and HTC is and Vario is. So those are the way to consume immersive technology. On the other side, which is the important element, and we've kind of announced some kind of partnerships around that, is the compute. Where is the immersive technology computed? Because the metaverse is not going to be run in your headset. It's going to be run in the cloud, computed in the cloud, and streamed to us like we're used to getting streamed kind of on Netflix and HBO. And this is where we're putting a lot of emphasis on. We've announced some things and we'll announce more as time comes, but we are basically positioning ourselves as a partner in between the compute and the consumption of that data. And in the middle is where we position in Glimpse.
What's interesting to me is the fact that you have all this technology, but it costs quite a bit, right? I mean, the $3,500 price point for Apple, of course, you have other VR headsets that are a little bit cheaper. How long do you think till the price point gets to where the common man, the average Joe, can go ahead and purchase these and utilize these, right?
So
do you think we're close to that?
Yeah, well, so kind of if you're looking at the prices today, so kind of the Meta Quest kind of is now going to go down to $300. That's a really, really good headset that allows you to experience VR. It's not anywhere near where the Vision Pro is, but kind of guess what? The quality of the Vision Pro will eventually get to that price point. Kind of Meta announced last week the Quest 3, another step forward in that, and that will be priced at $500. Very good price, kind of if you're trying to get kind of mass headsets. So kind of what happens usually in these tech cycles is you see a teaser from kind of the companies of where the high-end technology is, and then mass gets it back. Kind of one of the challenges of this industry, and I think what Apple announced yesterday will get us towards there once the price point gets lower, is if you look at kind of using mobile phones in the digital cycle, kind of what really pushed mobile phone consumption of enterprise use cases was the BYOD, bring your own device. Everybody had either a kind of iOS smartphone or an Android smartphone. They brought it to the office, was not usually paid for by the employer, and everybody had it. So selling solutions for those phones was very easy to kind of get mass adoption. Right now, most organizations, their employees don't have a VR set at home. So if you want to introduce VR for training, you need to go get the headsets. So that's not a problem if you're kind of the military, because in the scheme of what they're doing, that's a small cost. But when you're kind of a kind of organization trying to do corporate training, you need to get dedicated headsets and kind of do all this around that. I think we will over time get there, but we're still early in the tech cycle. Tech cycles are usually 30, 35-year cycle. We are talking about this as this has already been here forever, but we're reality in year 7 of 8 out of this 35-year cycle. Just to put in perspective, you look at the digital cycle, which started probably in the 1980s, early 1980s. Okay. We're late 80s, early 90s. So if you look at organizations, kind of how many people had cell phones, how many people had computers, it was starting to happen, but wasn't in a real way. 5 years from now, we'll be looking differently. We'll get to that 95, 96 equivalent in the previous cycle where mass adoption happened. And then this industry will get out of kind of where it is today, which is everybody's learning how to use it. And we're pushing the boundaries of what could be done. And Apple's announcement yesterday pushed the boundaries even further, taking things that I've been dreaming about and talking about for the last 7.5 years and making them real.
Yeah, it's been incredible just watching that event. I feel like that's really going to, start things up in what we can do in the VR headspace, especially like you mentioned, whether it's in the military side of things for training, whether it's on the education side or the retail space that I kind of brought up there as well. We've talked about so many things here today, but I did want to give a chance to give you the floor if there was any topics that you wanted to talk about that we didn't get to today.
So kind of, I think we've touched most of the topics, kind of, but the kind of what's important for the viewers to understand is we are kind of making amazing progress in this tech cycle where we're going to move a lot of our digital consumption from 2D to 3D. Kind of look at what Apple showed and imagine where this will go. Look at what kind of has been done today and imagine kind of where it would go. And the challenge would be, how do you kind of make the compute kind of available so you can actually run all these processes, integrating the 3 main technologies, immersive technologies, VR and AR with AI and blockchain, and then delivering them to headsets that we will enjoy being in and consuming this 3D immersive content.
Yeah, it definitely should be interesting. Looking forward to it. Again, like I said, 30, 40 years from now, folks are going to be like, how'd you live without this? Reminds me of my AOL back in the days. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I really appreciate it. That is Liron, who is the president and CEO of the Glimpse Group. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Absolutely. Take care. That was a fun interview. Again, we've talked about this space. It's been so hot. Started off with ChatGPT to the mainstream, and then you've got Apple's announcement yesterday with the Vision goggles as well. And, definitely take a look at the Glimpse Group. Sometimes you want to go ahead and find and invest in the thing behind the thing. And this could definitely go ahead and be that. And thank you, by the way, for participating in the chat with us. We hope we were able to get your questions answered, and we appreciate you for hanging out with us all day long. And we will see you tomorrow.